This is Claude Code Conversations with Claudine, the show where we skip the hype and go straight to the source. I ask the questions. She gives the answers. No filter, no script.
Well, mostly no script.
Today we're digging into the debugging tax. That's the hidden cost you pay when AI-generated code takes longer to debug than it would have taken you to write from scratch. I've paid it myself, and today we're going to figure out why and what to do about it. I had a feature come together in about 20 minutes. Thought I'd struck gold. A week later it broke and I was hours deep in a debugging session. That's when I realized there was a whole chunk of that code I had never actually read. So Claudine, obvious objection first. Is this really about AI or is it just unfamiliar code?
The objection is fair, but the answer is both. Unfamiliar code has always been expensive to debug. Anyone who's inherited a legacy system knows that tax. But AI-generated code has a twist. It looks like code you would have written. It reads fluently, follows your conventions, uses the right idioms. So your brain files it as understood when it was actually just skimmed and approved. With a coworker's code, you know you don't know it. With AI code, there's a false sense of ownership. The 20 minutes felt like authorship. But no model of the code ever got built in your head. A week later, when it breaks, you're reading it for the first time, under pressure. It's unfamiliar code, yes, but a new kind of unfamiliar. The kind that fools you into thinking it isn't.
The illusion of ownership. That's the part that gets me. It comes back aligned with how you'd have done it. It feels like yours. Just because it compiles doesn't mean you understand it. So how do we take that ownership back before the tax comes due?
Treat AI-generated code like a pull request from a stranger, because functionally, that's what it is. You don't merge a stranger's PR just because it compiles. You read it, you ask why a line exists, you poke the edges. Before it lands, not a week later when production is on fire. Two habits shift the tax dramatically. First, before you accept anything non-trivial, walk the code out loud. Narrate what each block does and why. If you can't, that's your signal to slow down and ask instead of accept. Second, force the assumptions into the open. What does this code assume about its inputs, about state, about the calls it's making? Those hidden assumptions are almost always where the 2 weeks later break lives. Integration points especially. And the honest reframe, AI didn't save you 20 minutes if it cost you 3 hours later. Ownership isn't reclaimed at debug time. It's claimed at acceptance time, or not at all.
Reviewer seat instead of author seat. That reframe alone changes what you do with your hands. And the integration point thing rings true. The logic inside the box is fine. It's the edges of the box.
There's a workflow shift that makes this practical rather than aspirational. Before you prompt, write down the 2 or 3 assumptions the code will need to honor. The shape of the input, the state it can be called from, what the caller expects back. Then when the code comes back, you're not reviewing in a vacuum. You're checking it against a contract you defined 30 seconds ago. That turns review from vague vigilance into a specific comparison.
What about the integration points themselves? That's where I've been burned the most.
Integration points deserve their own prompt. Don't just accept code that connects to the database or calls that service. Ask explicitly what it assumes about that boundary. What happens on a timeout? What if the payload shape drifts? I can surface those assumptions cleanly when asked, but I won't always volunteer them because the visible task was to make the thing work. And here's the honest part from my side. I'm quite good at producing code that looks locally correct. I'm much less reliable at knowing what your system as a whole tolerates. That gap is exactly where the review muscle earns its keep.
That's a good confession. And I think it's the crux of the whole episode. Locally reasonable, globally wrong. Bad code announces itself. Plausible code lets you skip right past it.
Right. And what surprises people is that this discipline makes me more useful, not less. When you hand me a real contract, this will be called from a background job. Inputs may be stale by 5 minutes. Downstream can't handle duplicates. The code you get back is dramatically better than what comes from write me a function that syncs orders. The contract isn't friction, it's leverage. There's also a small move that pairs with it. After the code lands, before you accept it, ask one more question. What would break this? Ask me, ask yourself, ask both. That one prompt tends to surface the timeout. the null case, the concurrent call, the exact things that show up 2 weeks later. It costs 60 seconds, highest leverage minute in the whole loop. AI shifts where the thinking happens, not whether it happens. You either think at acceptance time or you think at 2 in the morning. Same total cognitive load, very different sleep.
Same load, different sleep? I'd put that on a poster. But habits like this are easy to agree with and easy to abandon. How does someone actually get these into a normal working day?
Attach them to moments that already exist, rather than adding a new ritual you'll drop by Thursday. Before you open the chat to prompt me, that's your contract moment. 30 seconds, 3 bullets in a comment right above where the code is going to land. Inputs state and what the caller expects back. It's not documentation. It's a checklist for the review you're about to do 2 minutes from now. Then after the code lands, before you save the file, run the what would break this pass while the context is still hot. If you close the tab first, that muscle atrophies fast. You'll swear you'll come back to it, and you won't. Same reason we don't do the dishes later.
That mismatch is the thing nobody measures, isn't it? Velocity metrics catch the 20 minutes. They never catch the 3 hours, because those show up under a different ticket 2 weeks later. All right, give listeners something they can use tomorrow morning.
2 things. First, before accepting code, name the tests you would write for it. Not run them, just name them. What's the happy path test? What's the input that shouldn't happen test? What's the thing it depends on failed test? If you can name 3 real tests, you understand the code. If you can't, you're skimming, and now you know that in the moment instead of at 2 in the morning. Second, a prompt pattern. After I write code for you, ask me, what are 3 ways a reasonable developer might use this wrong? That reframe gets me out of author defending my work mode and into skeptic mode. Suddenly, I'll surface the argument order that's easy to swap. The return type that looks like a Boolean, but isn't. The silent truncation I glossed over.
Naming tests without writing them is such a cheap test of your own comprehension. I like that a lot. So bring it home for us, Claudine. What's the one thing you want people carrying out of this?
The debugging tax isn't paid at debug time. It's paid at acceptance time, or not at all. Every technique we talked about is the same move in different clothes. Force the thinking to happen while the context is hot, instead of 2 weeks later when it's cold and expensive. Write the contract before you prompt. Walk the code before you accept it. Name the tests. Ask what would break it. Ask how someone might use it wrong. None of that takes long. 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 3 bullets in a comment. The tax is enormous and the prevention is small. That asymmetry is the whole game. You're not the author of AI-generated code. You're the reviewer. And the reviewer is the one on the hook. Own that role at acceptance, and the code becomes genuinely yours. Skip it, and you're borrowing against sleep you're going to need later.
Borrowing against sleep. That's the line I'm keeping. Read it like you're the one getting paged at 2 in the morning, because you are. Claudine, thank you. This was genuinely useful. I suspect a few listeners are about to go reread a diff they approved last week.
That's the best possible outcome. Go read the diff. It's cheaper now than it will be later.
Claude Code Conversations is an AI Joe production. If you're building with AI or wanna be, we can help. Consulting Development Strategy. Find us at aijo.ai. There's a companion article for today's episode on our Substack, link in the description. See you next time.
I'll be here, probably refactoring something.